Last time on Square Roots, we take a walk on the razor's edge, or should I say the sword's edge, to meet our old friend Mumkar. Later, we fall for our old girlfriend all over again, but she doesn't have a heart, or a kidney, or a spleen. It's like making love to a toaster. Oh well, at least she's hot.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Sant.
Heyo!
John. God, I'm not playing the game, so
Mayo
what am I going
hair.
to call John? John what?
Mayo hair.
John
Mayo
Male Hair
hair.
Brandon.
Mayo.
Oh, Mayo Hair Brandon.
Yeah.
I am playing the game, and I don't get that joke.
It's a 90-day fiance joke.
Oh. And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time. And this is a penultimate episode of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Fuck yeah.
Yay!
Finally gonna knock this piece of shit out.
It was great. It's one of my favorite games we've done. I really like it.
Hey, John, you say that every fucking time.
Oh, that's not true.
When's the last time you disliked a game, John?
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3?
You loved
liked
Kingdom
it.
Hearts 3.
That is
You gave it
not
5
true.
out of 5 stars.
Did not.
You said
You
you would
did.
marry it.
No.
You said your favorite part was Olaf the snowman, and you wished that he had been in the whole game.
And also, South Park. I was kind of
loved
on
that?
Wolf Among Us. It was fine.
You loved that. Vanessa.
What, me?
Yeah, you loved it so much you played the sequel immediately.
That's not what love is. That's just infatuation.
Oh, Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh,
Gotcha.
it wasn't
Yeah.
love, it was lust.
Yeah. I was just super hot for it and needed to get it out of my system.
Loved that abortion scene, if I recall correctly.
I loved it. I can't
Lord.
get enough of it. I made it my phone wallpaper. So every time I look at my text messages, I remember how great that was.
I love
Especially
watching John
timed.
play that.
Yeah.
She
Timed with the
also
SCOTUS decision overturning Roe. Such wonderful. You know, I love when art imitates life.
And she also changed my ringtone to Christmas happens once a year.
I did.
All right. What do we do on this show?
I already said it. We play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time.
We
All right.
jerk off.
We
Whoa.
he has a podcast where we jack off.
You jacking it? I'm jacking it.
Press space to get off.
So there's, once again, no hot gaming news this week.
Well, it's not that there is no hot gaming news. We've just replaced it with a better segment called Jim's Stupid Game.
Wait, we have to level up first.
I wasn't introducing this segment so
Oh.
that we could do it. I was just talking about what was happening.
It's not stupid.
I like
It's kinda
full
just what it's
frontal
called.
failures.
I know. Listeners, just
It's not
so
full
that-
frontal failure, John. That's not what it's called.
so we're all on the same page, listeners. I desperately tried to get them to drop the level up segment so we could do hot gaming news and then a fun little game, and they refused. These guys
no
love
thanks.
talking about what they had for fucking breakfast today.
True.
We wanted to do level up and we wanted to do Jim's stupid game, not
Yeah.
hot gaming news and
full
Jim's good
frontal
game.
failures. Don't disparage his game.
I'm not. That's just what it's called.
Sorry. Stupid frontal
No, it's
failures.
called full frontal failure.
Yeah.
No, that's
That's what I
what
said.
it's called whenever I get naked in front of a romantic partner. Aw.
I just call that embarrassment.
Aw.
I call that being a harlot. Put a sheet between the two of you and cut a hole in it, like a gentleman.
What's the hole for?
Fingers.
Talking?
That's my favorite Avenged Sevenfold song. I couldn't call that a harlot. Could have hole in the sheet.
I thought you meant hole in the sheet.
Yeah.
No, I did.
I really
That's
liked
the
that
name of the
band
song?
for like 2 minutes back in like 2009.
I saw them open for the Foo Fighters in like 2015, 14.
That's not a show I would have bothered to go to.
I saw
Well, when you
Nickelback
got
open
front
for
row
Cake
seats.
in 2001.
What? I saw Nickelback play a rock festival in like 2001. It was like they played right before Three Doors Down.
Oh.
I was in
If
8th grade.
you call me crazy or you still call me Superman, earlier hot and well. That's them, right?
Yeah, I saw Papa Roach at that festival too.
Papa
Kryptonite.
Roachy, Papa Roach. Is that Papa Roach? So it
No,
goes.
Papa Roach is cut my life into pieces.
Remember when I made that really good cheese joke that should have gone viral, but it didn't?
What was it?
It was, cut my life into cheese cubes. This is my Roquefort. I think
That
people
is
didn't know
pretty
Roquefort
good,
was a
Vanessa.
cheese. It was
That is
really
pretty
good. I just put out great content in the world, and I don't feel I get the acknowledgement I deserve.
Just gotta keep at it.
You're right, Jim. I won't give up.
Oh, should we level up now?
Yeah.
Let's do it. You know what? I want to go first this week
Okay.
because I've done multiple things. Okay, so on the gaming side, I finally finished Quantum Break.
Holy shit,
after-
Quantum Leap?
After starting and stopping it many times, I decided to pick up my most recent save game from like the beginning of 2022 and finally finish it, and I did.
I think that is
and
going to be a surprise Vanessa hit. I think she will love that game.
I think it is too. It's got a lot of cool like multimedia things with it.
and Vanessa
and
loves
the-
kind of crappy sci-fi.
I do.
Yeah, and it's fun to play, and it's got Sean Ashmore and Aidan Gillen and that guy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Lance Reddick?
Yeah.
Yes, Lance Reddick, and other people. It's got one of the guys from Lord of the Rings, the guy that plays Merry.
Yeah. Dominic
He's
Monaghan.
Right,
Dominic
right,
Monaghan. Yeah, it's a fun game, and the time powers are cool. The gunplay is fun. I like it a lot. And I also did a whole playthrough of the game Soma,
That's a great
which
game.
is goddamn disturbing game. One of the probably most disturbing horror games I've ever played in terms of the philosophical implications of what you're doing in the game.
Yes.
It is jarring and very well done. The voice acting is fantastic in that game. I really enjoyed that. Also, I went and saw the movie Megan,
M3 GAN.
M3 GAN, and man, what a fun movie. I laughed my ass off. I gasped in delight at a lot of the horror stuff. It is just a top to bottom fun movie. Didn't really know what I was in for until Megan the doll sang the song, is it Titanium? Sang a pop song to a little girl. And like it is hilarious and disturbing and weird. Like every time there was a close up of Megan the doll's face, I laughed out loud.
Now, this movie, okay, I haven't researched this. It seems like the ironic queer love of the initial trailer made them recut the movie to be funnier and like creepy pop, more singing, more dancing, and less of a hard R. They turned it from a hard R to a PG.
I don't think so. Like I will say, like I was worried about that too, but like I will say,
I'm not worried about that. Those are positives, Jim.
But like,
Positives.
there's actually like the trailer would make you think that she's just like dancing she's tip-tapping all over the place. It's really not. There's not a lot of dancing in the film.
Okay.
Just really like one sequence. But she does sing a couple times, which is always fucking hilarious. And just every line that Megan says is so goddamn funny. It's a good movie, and I suggest everybody go watch it. It's fantastic.
Who plays the
I'm
mom?
also looking.
Is it Elizabeth Banks?
No, it's an actress that looks like Jennifer Garner to me, but I don't know where else I've seen her. But there's a lot of really funny like corporate stuff that goes on in it. Some funny side characters. The little girl who is like one of the leads is the little sister of the little girl from The Black Phone. If you guys have seen The Black Phone, she's the little sister of the little girl from The Black Phone. Both really good little girl actresses. And yeah, movie's great. I'm excited to watch it again. And this is like a pre-level up maybe, but I'm going to try and see Skinamarink this weekend. Which is like an indie horror film that got so much viral traction that they put it into theaters for a limited run. It's like kind of like a found footage experimental horror film. I watched the trailer and it scared the bejesus out of me. So I'm excited to see that.
Is it based off that Sharon Lois and Bram song?
Yeah, that's what.
No, it's not based off of the song. But I think it's supposed to evoke that kind of childlike confusion and confusion and awe. And that's kind of the vibe of the film, I think. So I'm excited about that. Vanessa, how did you level up?
I haven't done anything. I've been racking my brain and trying to think of something for the level up because I knew where we were recording, and I was asking people, I'm like, what did I watch this weekend? And nobody knew.
Were you very pro 3 M&Ms?
What?
It's
oh,
like
yeah.
The latest conservative
right.
catastrophe.
Yes, I'm very upset because M&M's has gone woke and put ladies on the front of the M&M's bag. And I don't want to eat ladies. I want to empower ladies. I want to eat men. And so bring back my M&M's or else I'm going to be mad. No, that's not how I leveled up.
But now Tucker Carlson has more M&M bags to jerk off over.
Yeah, I guess my level up is Tucker Carlson jerked off. I don't think that's my level up either.
That's
why
how you
not?
leveled up? The Tucker Carlson jerked off. We all leveled up.
Well, I don't feel responsible. I hope to God I'm not responsible for that, and I don't actually want anything to do with it. All I've done is the same thing I was doing before, which is watching this Access Comedy Festival online. It's a different comedian every single day, basically, and that's an awful lot of comedy. Some of it I've liked a whole bunch, and so much so I've almost recommended it by name, which you know is a big step for me, but it's not clear yet if it's going to be available in archive streaming or not, so I'm hesitant to bring up, oh, I saw this great show and you don't get to see it. Also, I have not vetted this particular performer, and I don't like to put my little seal of approval on someone until I'm a little bit more comfortable with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it that one comedian with the racist puppets?
Yeah, it's Dane Cook.
Jeff Dunham.
Oh no, is it that Jeff Dunham? Then who's Dane Cook? Is he also terrible?
Dane Cook he's not a ventriloquist.
His puppets are just horny.
Yeah.
Dane Cook's
puppets?
Yeah.
Dane Cook does not have puppets.
Jeff Dunham is the ventriloquist that all the boomers love. I remember when I was married, my ex's grandparents for our first Christmas together gave me a Jeff Dunham DVD.
Oh no!
No.
And I had to pretend like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted.
Jim likes comedy. He'll love this.
I remember, it's a little off topic, but I remember years ago when Lisa Lampanelli was a thing. And I had a friend that was so fucking into her comedy, and it was just not good. Not good comedy. He would make us watch her stand-ups, and I would just sit there and be like, yeah, no, I get it. This lady loves fucking dudes. I get it.
That's her whole thing.
Yes.
Well,
I
she's
love
always
that.
dating
Sex
like
with
big
black
bear
men.
guys too, isn't she?
No, it was always black guys. She was really
Yeah.
into fucking black guys, and that was her whole, which is great, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong, but that was her whole stand-up thing. Was like, I'm a white chick and I love fucking black guys. Hey, it was not good.
That's a good level up for me. I watched Hannah Gadsby's special Nanette again. That came out in, I think, 2017, and everyone was like, oh, this redefines stand-up comedy. It's so good. And I hadn't seen it since then. And in watching this comedy festival, it just felt inspired to see it again. And it's so good. It's still streaming on Netflix. If you still have that, highly recommend it. It's not an easy watch. It's not like a feel-good comedy. It's more like a this might make you a better or more insightful person comedy if you watch this comedy. So do it, because who doesn't want to be a better or more insightful person?
Me.
That's a good level up. All right, I'm done. And next week, I will think of some level ups that these gentlemen cannot twist into conservative or problematic comedians jerking it, which...
You're
Good
the
luck.
one that mentioned Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, Vanessa.
I thought he was the one with the racist puppets.
He's a ventriloquist with he has a skeleton puppet that's Ahmed the dead terrorist.
Yeah.
No, why? Now I'm imagining him jerking off with the puppet. Eh,
Just into and around the puppet.
no, I'm unhappy. Johnny, how did you level up?
Well, all my social medias have been just bombarded with promoted tweets and videos from who's that woke moralists guy? Oh, Jordan Peterson. I don't know why, but he's been
Up
him
yours, woke moralist.
him and I got
We'll
a
see who
promoted
cancels who.
I got a promoted TikTok from Pierre Poilievre. He's the conservative leader who's a big piece of crap here. He's like,
It's not. You don't know what free speech is because Jordan Peterson got kicked out of a association of psychologists. Ah.
I hate them both. Hate them both. He doesn't actually sound like Gilbert Gottfried, but his dumb TikTok made me so mad. And unlike like most of the social medias, TikTok, you have to like press a lot of things to get to block someone or be like, I don't want to see this shit, you know, because I don't want to see either of those dudes. Get off of TikTok. TikTok's For You page is so much right-wing propaganda. It's real weird. Like, I got this guy legitimately being mad because he was at Walmart and they didn't have, he's American, that he was at Walmart and they didn't have plastic bags. And he says, what happened to our country that that you don't have plastic bags, that you have to think 2 seconds to remember to bring a couple of bags to the store? Is that really something you're going to be so upset about you make a TikTok?
No.
Really?
I can tell John lives in Canada because the current American thing that people are upset about is fucking gas stoves.
Yeah,
Better not
why
take
is
my
everyone
gas
so
stove.
upset about that?
They aren't even taking
You know
gas
why.
stoves.
You know why? Because it's a fucking trigger word for morons that think that the government's gonna take away my stove.
What was it like? This consumer protect is it CPA, Consumer Protection Agency, was like, you know what? These gas stoves gives people a lot of asthma. Maybe we should consider banning them in new bills. And people are like, what the fuck? Come and take it.
Nobody wants a gas
Come and
stove
take
anymore.
it.
They want an induction stove.
Yeah, no kidding. Get a fucking air fryer.
So I got my PC back on the internet because my internet got fixed. So I finally got to play Need for Speed Unbound. That's the one that's like a car game by the people that made Burnout, but your characters look like cel shaded. It's very inspired by Into the Spider-Verse, Like it's got lots of mixed media. So like when you're taking a curve, you have like drawn on paper cuts around the car to like show speed lines and stuff. It looks neat, a bit like Marshalls versus the Machines as well.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see that movie.
It's good.
It has. I was looking at the soundtrack a couple weeks ago. Goddamn amazing soundtrack. One of my favorite bands has a song on the soundtrack.
What band is that?
Los Campesinos.
Oh, well. So yeah, Need for Speed Unbound. It actually has a pretty good story. It is one of those games where you have to make a character and it has to be a slim, hip 20-something. I would love those games where you could like choose your personality and one of the options should be like confused middle-aged man who probably shouldn't be at this car culture thing. Like, hey man, your Lambo is straight fire, and your character would be like, what? It's what? It's on fire?
It's on fire?
Straight fire. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But
Context clues.
it's all people talking straight fire. But the plot's actually pretty fun and there's good performances. Like I laughed at some of the jokes that happen in it and I don't know. It's a little, as the children would say, cringe. But because it's like, 30-something Vancouverites or English people writing lines supposed to be spoken by 20-somethings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's millennials trying to write for Gen Z, which is hilarious in and of itself.
Gen Z doesn't even use words. They're just like, SCREE, eyes emoji. Wah.
Skeet.
Yeah, that's what they do. They ski.
Dab.
But the cars, it looks real pretty. The cars look great. If you like... and one thing I like is... It's not one of those games where you get 8,000 cars. When you get a car, you name it, and it's sort of about your... it's really about car culture and, those people that really get attached to, modifying their car. And I don't know. I think that
cool.
stuff's fun. And I like doing it in a virtual form so that I'm not actually, driving a car around the town and hitting people and all that, which would be dangerous and bad.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to buy any new cars.
Yeah, well, I like my car. I'm happy with my car.
Yeah, for now. Talk to me in a year.
Yeah,
You'll get the itch.
Probably. I'm just not car monogamous. I'm a car slut. Did I talk? I don't think I talked about this last time. My cardio, that in between weightlifting days, now on my days off, I have been doing cardio, and I've been alternating between 3 games. Dance Central and... Dance Central 3, technically, and Fitness Boxing 2, and Ring Fit. I have been playing all 3 of those.
Oh, cool.
And you remember Vanessa was real into the Ring Fit for a little while because she thought Ring had a special crush on her and said that her sweat was glowing, and it was so
That's
beautiful.
what Ring told me.
I forgot. So it does import all your old songs. And in Dance Central 1, I had purchased Fergalicious and Janet Jackson Control and Cameo's Word Up and
Great
Blur's
songs.
Oh, Word Up's a great song.
Boys and Girls. Fergalicious is such a fun song to do. And I'm getting better at it. I can now do Fitness Boxing 2. That cardio session's half an hour. And the first couple of times were death. But I'm getting better. I'm doing way more cardio now, so I'm feeling a lot better.
That's great. I think boxing is seriously one of the best workouts you can do. It's people, you don't think so, but 20, 30 minutes of throwing punches and moving around and moving your feet is an incredibly hard workout.
Try Dance Central 2, though. I get pretty sweaty doing that. Yeah. Do that because I do 7 songs, so it's about half hour.
Interesting.
And that's...
Do you have to have a Kinect to play it?
Yes. So you have to get some ancient technology to do so, unfortunately. But Just Dance is probably just as good. And you can do that on
I want to
any
try
system.
Ring Fit.
Yeah, Ring Fit's fun. Anyway, Matthew, how did you level up?
Hey, I downloaded a game called Chained Echoes. And
You like it?
It's all right.
How much have you played?
Not a ton. A couple hours. Combat seems fun. The world looks nice. It's a pretty game. Pixel graphics. Real heavy on the Chrono Trigger homages, which I got to be honest with you, feels like something that is done to death at this point. So definitely Chrono Trigger homages making my eyes roll out of my fucking head.
What about it makes it Chrono Trigger-y to you? Because people say that, and I didn't get Chrono Trigger vibes at all.
Just play that big festival at the beginning and play all the games, and you're like, hey, this is exactly Chrono Trigger. Okay, well, I don't know. Me and everybody else on the planet thinks so, but sure. Big Chrono Trigger homage feels kind of lame and overdone, and not big fan of that. I mean, I like Chrono Trigger, but give me a fucking break. Like, do something new. But I'm not super far into it, so I can't give like a big review on it, but it's interesting. It's fun. I'll definitely play more. My other level up is that I am still watching Columbo. I'm like 5 seasons into that fucking show somehow. It's, I don't know, it's a delight. I love the 70s. I love how Columbo will just walk into a murder scene in somebody's house with a grieving widow in the corner and just puff away on his big gross cigar and ash all over their fucking floors.
I love the murder scenes out in the disco highway.
It's fun when you're watching the show like chronologically because you notice that a lot of the murderers come back and play different murderers, which is weird. It's real weird. I got so far into the show that I watched the cruise ship episode, the infamous cruise ship episode, where Columbo, who constantly talks about his wife, who is never seen, goes on a cruise with his wife, and she remains off camera the entire time and is never seen. It was pretty fucking funny.
Probably in the kids' club.
He implies that she's drinking a lot, basically. He's like, she likes to party, and he's always looking for her. Have you seen my wife? All right, yeah. Oh, she's looking for me? I'm looking for her. Columbo is streaming on Peacock and is, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a 70s baby, so I've never seen this fucking show. But as somebody watching it in the year of our Lord 2023, 50 years after it released, pretty enjoyable. Pretty fun show. Check it out. That's my level up.
Just one more thing?
Just one more thing, Vanessa.
Yes?
But didn't you bring up the ventriloquist puppet?
No, I definitely did not bring up the ventriloquist puppet. I just got the name of the racist ventriloquist wrong.
Having watched Glass Onion recently and loving and being a big fan of Knives Out, you can see a lot of Benoit Blanc in this character, and it's kind of fun. Benoit Blanc is a Columbo for sure, and that's an entertaining.
He's a gay Columbo.
Modern reference to that. Just in the seemingly bumbling, super polite, but always just... Here's the real similarity. Columbo's whole deal is finding the contradictions, and that also is kind of Benoit Blanc's whole thing. And also is a big part of upcoming bonus episode game Danganronpa, finding the contradictions in people's statements. And that's very much what Columbo does. He hunts the contradictions. The show is interesting. The way it's set up, if you've never watched it, the first 20 minutes or so are generally the murder. And you see what happens. You know who the murderer is. And then the rest of the episode is Columbo bumbling in, instantly figuring out what happened, but being forced to prove that that's what happened, which usually he does via some form of entrapment, which doesn't feel like it would hold up as well in court these days. But yeah, Columbo, weird thing that I'm watching right now, but really enjoying it. I really recommend anybody that's heard of it and never watched it or liked it when they were younger and hasn't seen it in years, check it out. The first season's fantastic. There are many guest stars like William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy and what was his name that I said earlier? Johnny Cash is in an episode. Dick Van Dyke. George Hamilton, just Ricardo Montalban. Just a lot of people that you recognize play the murderers in these shows, which is pretty fun. Now, I'm a little hesitant because I know that it takes like a 10-year break and then picks up in the late 80s, early 90s, and I have a bad feeling about that. But the original, there's like 7 seasons of the original 70s run, and you know what? It's a delight. I was telling Johnny earlier, I watched an episode today where the murderer, the victim, had a security camera system in their house, and Columbo could not fucking believe it. A TV camera in your house? It was pretty fucking funny. I also like how they often will have the killers come back and play different killers. So George Hamilton had multiple episodes. William Shatner had multiple episodes. That's fun. And there's a lot of fun guest stars like Rip Torn and Ed Bigley Jr. And, you know.
Oh, cool.
It's Hector Elizondo played a Middle Eastern man, and he is, I don't believe, a Middle Eastern man. So that was weird. But
70s casting.
That's the 70s for you. Yeah, check out Columbo if you haven't. The full thing is streaming on Peacock. The first episode of the full series, now there's 2 pilot episodes that I didn't watch, but the first episode of the full series is directed by Steven Spielberg, which was pretty fun. And Jack Cassidy plays the killer. He was in a ton of episodes. So yeah, it's a good time. It's fun. Anyway, that's how I leveled up. Let's move on to Jim's Stupid Game.
All right, time for installment 2 of Jim's Stupid Game.
Full page failure.
Full frontal failure.
Full frontal nudity, starring me because I'm taking my clothes off.
Now we weren't able to do this last week because we didn't have video, but this week's questions are coming from the December 1995 issue of Game Pro magazine.
So that means it came out in what? May of 1995? Because the dates on those
like
things are always
probably
wrong.
like October, right?
Yeah.
I see Donkey Kong Country 2 with Diddy Kong and
DK2. The cover
Dixie?
stories are DK2, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. There are reviews of Virtua Fighter Remix, WrestleMania for the Genesis, Earthworm Jim 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Madden 96, Mega Man X3, and Doom for the PlayStation.
So I was thinking before I suggested doing the like what do you call that, the headline copy and the first line, but I think you were right. Actually, do just the headline copy first, as for like the super bonus points.
Don't tell Jim how to run his game. Also,
No, I'm telling him he was
thinking
right. I'm telling
when I
Jim
edited last
he
week.
was correct.
I was thinking when I edited last week that Johnny guessed one of his questions on the second guess, but for some reason you decided he deserved 20 points for that.
Yeah,
and that's
I
not how
noticed
games
that
work,
too.
Jim. You're gonna have to
is that
deduct those
right?
10 points.
Should I change that
Yes.
20 to a 10?
That's not how that shit works. You can't
Wait,
just
that was-
decide that somebody gets more points. This
Oh,
isn't
that's
who's
right,
in
you're
any
right.
way.
I mean,
He
technically,
guessed,
he shouldn't
he
even have
guessed-
gotten a second guess because
No,
you're
I
supposed to
didn't
be
get two
out if you're
guesses.
wrong.
No,
No.
he didn't guess on the first one.
No, he
But
got it right.
like he got Parasite Eve on the second one. All right, so I'll
No, it
give
wasn't
him
Parasite Eve.
It was
No,
it
was the last one we did,
Time
which
to
was
Kill.
no, it was
Duke Nukem.
What was it?
Duke Nukem.
I think it
Time
was Duke
to
Nukem.
Kill.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
And
it was
you-
Duke Nukem. We did 5 last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were like, "Oh, Johnny, I'm giving you 20 for that."
Okay. All right. 10 for John. Okay, so here are
That's
the
fine,
standings.
but give me 20 for my one that I got right, you know? And
Here
give
the-
Vanessa 20
Yeah, and also
for
give me
funsies.
20 because I didn't get any right.
Here's the current points standing. John is
Yes.
in the lead with 20 points. Matt in second place with 5 points.
15 points.
And Vanessa, goose egg, 0 points.
Yeah, but I'm going to catch up.
Yeah, we got. You know what? There are some. I think the ones this week are pretty easy.
Okay, I'm very excited.
I blew my nose so much this week that my nose feels scaly now.
You need
Ew.
Fisherman's Friend.
Yeah.
You need some
All right, you guys-
aloe-coated tissues.
You guys
I
ready
have
for
those.
first game, first clue?
Yep.
All right.
Jim's Jacking It, the game.
The tagline for this game's
Wait.
ad.
You didn't solve the buzzer issue. How are we doing it this time?
We don't
just
have
start
the
reading the
buzzer. We just
question?
go in circle.
Yeah, we could just go like we did for Jeopardy. We can just say buzz, and
But
Jim
then
can
you'll
hear
buzz
it.
up on anything. We deserve a chance to get points too.
Okay, fine.
We just have to
All
decide
right, how do
who
we
goes
do
first.
it? How do you want to do it?
Like we did last time. Someone goes first, someone goes second, someone goes
Matthew,
third.
Vanessa, Johnny, then Vanessa, Johnny, Matthew,
Okay.
then Johnny, Matthew, Vanessa.
Okay. All right. First question, first hint. This is a tagline for the ad. It reads, "The force of evil has an ugly face. The force of good has an even uglier one." Oh, hold on. I have to pause real quick. I have a food delivery at the door. I'll redo this in a sec.
Goodbye. This gives me plenty of time to Google this tagline.
No Googling.
Mm,
I have an
fine.
idea of what it might be.
I have no idea.
Because this is the 95. So this is like peak play it loud. Horrible advertising era. And real gross, a lot of gross things. Like
Yeah. Sounds like something
remember that Kirby
stupid.
one for the Kirby Super Nintendo game where they're like, this guy's gonna eat so much he explodes into a pile of guts.
Ew.
Yeah, I didn't like that commercial.
I'm too little to know these games.
Lie.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay.
What'd you get
First
delivered?
game.
Where's the food? Show it.
Oh, it's in the kitchen.
What is it?
I ordered some pizza from the pizza place. There's I don't know. They have a Greek pizza. Pie 5. Anyway,
What's
If you
it?
want a high five, hands up.
Pie 5.
Johnny. Smack.
All right. First game. First clue. Tagline. The force of evil has an ugly face. The force of good has an even uglier one. Matt.
What was a game about somebody with an ugly face?
God of War.
No, not in the 90s.
The
Yeah,
Witcher.
Mid-90s.
Remember, this is December 95.
Pal Pass.
Vanessa.
I don't know, Jim.
Pass?
I do pass.
John.
Should I try to guess? What do you think? I have a
don't
guess.
know.
Make up your own mind. You're an adult.
John
Yeah.
has a guess. If you have a guess.
Booger Man.
Incorrect.
Oh,
All right.
That was
Hit number
a good
2.
guess.
This is that was good. This is copy from the ad. Copy reads 24 megs with rendered graphics, battery backup, ancient civilizations, prehistoric jungles, medieval kingdoms, futuristic cities, all on one strange planet.
Planet. I don't know. I pass.
Matt?
Earthworm Jim 2.
Incorrect, but
Fuck.
you're thinking in the right. I mean,
Don't-
there's a lot of ads for Earthworm Jim 2 in this magazine, so a lot of them. All right, so Vanessa, you can try to get this with the third hint. The third hints, I guess. The genre is action RPG, and the studio is SquareSoft.
Squaresoft.
Yeah,
Huh.
SquareSoft action RPG mid-90s.
Squaresoft action RPG mid-90s with an ugly face. It's not going to be Final Fantasy VIII. That's a
Mid-90s,
Squaresoft game. I know.
mid-90s.
I said it's not going to be. Honestly. Jim, I just got nothing. I'm coming up a complete blank here.
All right.
I guess it's my last guess, right? So it wouldn't hurt to
Yeah,
guess something.
I mean, nothing to
Yeah.
lose.
I will guess Duke Nukem Forever.
Okay, that is incorrect. Duke Nukem Forever came out in like 2012 or
was
something.
it
but
Super Mario RPG? That was my.
it is
second
Secret of Evermore.
But why is he ugly?
Guess. He's a child.
He's just a boy.
That's just what the ad said. That's what the ad said.
That was bad. Bad choice,
We're
Jim.
shocked.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Johnny's taking over next week.
I thought you guys might have got it with the second hint, but
You thought wrong.
I know. All right.
Pre-rendered. I thought that had sprites.
It had character sprites, but pre-rendered backgrounds.
Oh.
All right. Game number 2. Tagline is, "Will you take up this sword?"
Who goes first this time? Is it me?
You do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh. Will you take up this sword? Secret of Mana.
Incorrect.
No.
Johnny?
Not enough information. I'm going to have to pass.
Same. Pass.
All right. Hint number 2, copy from the ad. You've never... Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. Will you lead the adventure? Will you exalt in endless treasure? Will you set free the dragons? And this is not in my list of hints, but I'll throw this out there. RPG.
Okay. It's my guess, right?
Uh-huh.
Breath of Fire 2.
That is correct.
Wow.
For 10 points. Johnny for 10 points. All right. Game number 3. Tagline. This one's, it's when I say the game, you're going to freak out because this ad copy, to me, has little to do with the game, but we'll see. The tagline for this ad is, "Comes with more rude smells than the old pull my finger joke."
What?
Also, I'll give another off the books hint here. This is also an RPG.
I know
Comes
this one.
with more rude smells.
I do
than
know.
the
Well,
old
you're the
pull
first
my
guess.
finger joke.
Well, it's Jim.
You're the first guess.
It's Matthew. Matthew first.
No, it's not.
No,
this is
you're
the
the
third
first
one.
guess on this
You're the
one,
first
Joe.
guess.
Okay.
Do it.
Earthbound.
Yeah, god damn it.
I was thinking the same thing. I remember those ads. They had scratch and sniff ads.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. John,
20 points for Johnny.
commanding lead. Yeah. All right. Fourth game. The tagline is, "The lucky ones are dead."
Okay.
You know what? I'll give an off the books hint here. The original release platform for this game was the Panasonic 3DO.
Oh, come on. I'll pass.
Vanessa.
Can you repeat it, please?
The lucky ones are dead. Original release platform 3DO.
I don't know.
I'm thinking 3DO game with dead people. No, that came out on PC first. Okay, I'll pass.
All right. Hit number 2, copy from the ad. Laura's not so lucky. She's got to live the nightmare, and I'm living it with her. We have to find out why her father went berserk and blew away a hospital full of patients.
That seems like quite the hint. If I had any idea what you were talking about.
This is 4, so Vanessa, you're first.
I don't know. I've never heard of a game like this. It's some game that Jim made up. Pass.
Okay. 3DO. It's obviously some kind of horror game. I can't think of any horror games on 3DO. Not that because Alone in the Dark came out on PC first, so it's not that.
I remember when this game came out, I really, really wanted to play it, but was very far removed from a 3DO.
Yeah. Dr. Hauser.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Does that leave Matt?
No, well, for this round, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to pass.
All right. Third hint. Other facts about the game. I said original platform is 3DO, but it was also eventually ported to the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation. The developer is a company called Warp, and the genre is horror adventure, and it has a very, very short title.
Oh, very short, huh?
Very short. As short as you can get, really.
Oh.
I think I actually thought this was going to be an early guess, so. Yeah, I think I know what this is, but I'll wait till...
You're first.
No, I'm not. I've already guessed something and failed.
Yeah, John's DQ'd.
Yep.
Let's see. I already said oh, and Jim didn't respond, so that can't be it. But if it's as short as someone can get, then it must be a letter. X?
Incorrect.
Building off of Vanessa, I'm going to guess this D.
That is correct.
No!
It is D.
That was on 3DO first? I thought it was like a Saturn game.
No, it was 3DO and eventually went to Saturn according to this ad.
Wait.
All right, now
Wait.
Oh, what? Sorry.
The name of the game was This D?
No, it's just D.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I still gave it to you.
I mean,
All
I
right.
did not guess that right, but
We
I'll
did
take the
this-
points.
This
that
was
was a
an
joke.
This was
There's
an
a game
unplanned-
called D?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
D2
it's
was for Dreamcast.
Yep. So this was unplanned last week, but I think we should make it a regular thing. I'm gonna pull a random ad out of this magazine, this edition of GamePro, and I'm gonna craft a whole new round out of it. This time I'm gonna use the back cover ad, and the tagline for this ad is. I almost included this in the regular game. The tagline is, "This is almost as cool as being able to lick myself."
Oh.
So who goes first?
Who went first last time?
I did?
Okay,
Then it's
so I guess
John?
it's me. Bubsy?
Incorrect.
Ooh, good guess.
There's still 3 hints to this, John. You didn't have to blow your load on the first one, but
You're right. I'm still in the lead. It's fine.
you have a commanding lead. So
Matt?
I mean, should I say This D again? Would that maybe work?
I think that was the
I mean,
one time in
how
your
often
life
is that
that
gonna
saying that
work?
was going to work.
the only time your D is going to be the answer to a sticky situation.
I'll pass. The only time in my life that this game's going to be an answer to a sticky situation? I don't think so, bud. This D's always the answer to a sticky situation.
I guess the smart move would be to pass, but I can think of someone I can picture saying that, but I'll pass.
Okay. So, copy from the ad. I'm going to skip this first line because it names the protagonist, but it says, "And he went and got himself trapped in a world of late-night B-movies like The Curse of Cleopatra, Count Slobula, and Casablanca. Without you, he's stuck there. As you romp through each scene, you'll find plenty of new weapons, bad guys, and eye-popping graphics drawn by the protagonist's person X." If I say the name, it'll give it away.
Oh, I think I know.
You'll jump, scratch, and weasel your way out of some potentially nasty situations.
I don't know.
If you're good enough to get this person back to reality, he might just teach you how to do that bathing with the tongue thing.
I am positive I know the person, but I don't know the name of the game. But I think
I'm
Matt
willing
gets
to
vote
bestow
first.
partial credit
No.
if you are to
Hey,
name...
no
Okay.
fake fucking made up rules.
I don't
Okay,
have
all
any
right.
points, Matt. Give me
Yeah, come on,
something.
Matt.
I know, I'm trying to get Vanessa on the board.
Get herself on the board. End the game.
Well, you get to guess first, I think.
All right, yeah, Matt, what do you think?
Do I? Fuck, I don't think this is it, but is it Comix Zone?
It's incorrect.
Does he
Damn.
lick himself? Is that a big
He
part
doesn't,
of the
but everything
Comix
else
Zone
about it
lore?
sounded-
It's obviously a cat of some kind.
All right. I'm going to guess Garfield.
Okay.
I don't think that would be the tagline for a Garfield game, though.
It is definitely the tagline for a Garfield game.
Holy
Garfield.
shit! Wow, Vanessa on the board.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw. You guys, should I give Vanessa 5 points or 10 points?
5
Five.
points. Stop making up rules.
All right,
is
5
fine.
points. All right, so standings as they are right now.
Fucking John.
John in the lead with 50 points.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the full name of the game, though? Because I'm sure it
Yeah.
wasn't just Garfield.
It is Garfield Caught in the Act, which was released on the Genesis and the Game Gear.
Really horny for a Garfield game.
Very horny, yeah. So John commanding lead, 50 points. Matt second place, 10 points, and Vanessa on the board with 5 points.
Woohoo!
Next week, I've decided that it's going to be a PC edition. I have a few retro PC gaming mags. We're going full on PC next week. So do your homework.
PC culture's
You know
gone
what? That's-
wild.
That's more up my alley because that's what I was playing a lot of in that era.
Yeah,
I
me
did not
too,
have a lot of
actually.
consoles. It was mostly PC games.
Yeah, we're going to PC Town next week. So
I did
be
not
ready.
have a gaming PC in 1995, so that's like a black hole for me. But I'll probably still win and destroy you both.
Oh my god.
I mean, I was a fetus in 1995, so obviously I didn't.
I wasn't
All right.
born.
You guys ready to talk about this
I'm the
quest
oldest.
log? We got a lot of big reveals. We got finally get some explanation as to what the fuck is happening on this world, though not really, because again, well, whatever, we'll get there.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Me too. I'm gonna go grab a beer. John, take us away.
All right. So, remember last time we met with the Junks over in Junktown, and we got a new piezoelectric stimulator for Fiora
Yeah, to stimulate her.
because she's a Robocop, right? She's a
Yeah, I
Robocop.
remember.
Yeah. So this time, I guess it was mostly the lady and the chief told us we should go to Agnaratha and catch up with Eagle, because he's bad and we're supposed to kill him.
Right, his son. He's like, please go kill my son, please.
Yes. And his son is Eagle. Eagle has a big gold-plated mech, and he is a Mechon, or Mechonics. What do they call themselves?
Mechon.
The Mechon?
Yeah. But they're not just like a beep boop robot. They have a little soul or something in there.
They're Johnny Five's alive.
So to get to the capital, we have to go through the leg and the thigh, and that does require going inside. It's not an exterior climb; it's an interior climb. So it's a crunchy factory, like that one in that commercial about playing safe, where that robot girl's going between all those gears and her arm falls off, and she's like, "I can put my arm back on, you can't. So play safe." It's just like that.
I don't know
There
what
should
you're
be a
talking
DLC for this
That's a
game
Canadian
that's like
commercial.
there should be like a DLC that's like Mechon Out of Water, where it's like a Meccan in the big city, and they have to join a Latino street gang called Los Locos, and they sing
Sounds
Los
great.
Locos.
Not
hit
problematic at all.
Los Locos. What's the song? Los Locos
I haven't seen that.
hit your something.
I thought that
Los
movie was
Locos
bad
hit your
as
face.
a child, Jim.
Los
I
Locos
thought-
kick your balls into outer space.
I saw the first one and loved it, and saw Short Circuit 2. I was like, I don't care for this.
Short Circuit 2 doubles down on the racism.
Yep.
Yeah, and the first one had that
in the casting
guy
and
in
the
Asian face,
screenplay.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
yes, and he's Fisher Stevens, and he's back, and much more. He's kind of the second character. Like, Steve Guttenberg's barely in it, right? In the second one.
He's not in it at all.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
think.
Oh.
Neither is Ali Sheedy, I don't think.
It's just Fisher Stevens.
I think it's
and
just
the-
Fisher
the
Stevens and
gang.
the other guy.
Yeah.
And the gang and who's the guy from Better Call Saul, and who's Saul's brother in Better Call Saul? What's that guy's name?
Never seen that.
Who
shit.
is in This Is Spinal Tap? Oh my god.
Oh, is it that very good actor who I also like on
Mike,
Twitter?
Michael
Mike-
McKean.
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
McKean. Michael McKean is also in that movie.
Ah, yes. Right. Yes.
Love
anyway,
Michael McKean.
so we're running around inside a beep boop robot leg, and this Matthew, we've been comparing parts of this game to Rogue Galaxy. I'd say this is a 2-part dungeon, and it does feel a little. It's not as bad. I mean, it's fine. But it is a long dungeon with a lot of switches to turn on and off and backtracking. Don't fall into the goop at the bottom or you will die. I did fall accidentally into the goop in the bottom one time.
Oh, no.
Because I was trying to do something that I thought you could do and you couldn't do it. So yeah, it's like a slowly ascending. I actually like visually the design is really cool. You've got these like twisting pistons and you can walk up them as ramps, and then you have to press buttons to like make them fall down, and that's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah, but these designs are never going to be as interesting as an outdoor setting with this kind
Yeah.
of graphical limitation.
Especially with the 5 or 6 hours that you're inside this dungeon. It started feeling pretty long, and there are a lot of named enemies around every turn, especially at the second half, and in Agnaritha. Although I enjoyed fighting them in Agnaritha, at this time I watched a combat tutorial. I posted it onto our group chat. I should put it in the group as well.
You watched a 15-minute. You posted a 15-minute video
Yeah.
into the group chat, and I looked at it and went, nah, I'll just wait for John to explain it on the next episode.
That must have been before Jim woke up. I must have missed that one.
So it's basically Uno, like the way that the party combos, the ones where you go into a special, like you fill up your bar and then everyone can do a chain attack, and it's Uno. That's how it works. And
It does not explain it, John.
well, you know how Uno works, right? So all your attacks have different colors. And if they're the same color, then you get... So say you first attack red, right? It does normal damage. In the second chain of the combo, if you do red again, then it does double damage. If you do a third red attack, it does triple damage.
Whoa.
If you then... After 3 attacks, then you start getting into the chance of getting an extended combo, which is based on the affinity that your characters have for each other and other boosts. There's some gems you can put in that raise party boost combo continuing, and there is okay, so in the skill links, in the skill trees, you can link your friends' skills if you have good affinity for them. There's a skill link with Shulk that allows a 15% extra chance to continue a combo, and if everyone in the party does it, then it basically lets your combos go on a long time.
I've
so
had
you can
those extended combos, but I never understood why I was getting them.
It's basically a percentage chance based on your affinity towards each other, and any other. There's some bonuses you can add onto it, like this skill link thing that you can link to. The only thing is, it takes 45 affinity coins for someone to link that skill with Shulk. That's a lot of coins. Like, I think I've had 60 or something total. So you have to grind affinity coins in order to use this link. And one of the best ways to grind affinity coins is to defeat big named robots. So you want to defeat a lot of those big, but you only get 1 or 3 coins total for defeating a big robot, and 45, you have to defeat a lot of big robots to get 45 affinity coins. So maybe that's more of a New Game Plus thing to do.
Well, I think I have like 100 apiece for everybody at this point.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, I don't.
But I think that it takes... It's like you don't spend the coins. You get them back if you unequip the skill. So you can move your stuff around so you have more coins available to use something like that.
Okay, then yeah, definitely go first. Oh, and also I didn't realize with the skill you have to to fill up a skill tree, you have to equip a different skill tree, and once you've maxed out a skill tree, then it doesn't automatically switch to the next one, so you have to go in and make sure you're grinding a different skill tree, and that's a little weird. Anyway, so you can go up to I think it's times
I've got those
5
almost
or
all
times...
filled out except for like Fiora and somebody else newer, Melia maybe.
So the idea of getting really long skill chains is to have everyone have 3 skills, 3, say, red skills or 3 pink skills or whatever. Red is the easiest, but you don't always have to use that because the middle skill, the talent that everyone has.
The Monado or the elemental attacks from Melia.
Yeah, that's like a wild card in Uno.
Or...
It's like an
Fiora
Uno card, so it doesn't
like
have a suit. So if you use that, then you can use any color after that to continue the... combo.
Oh,
and
so
you will do
with my setup
so much more damage.
Yeah, you can do hundreds of thousands of damage with these things.
Yeah. So
I've only done that a couple of times by accident.
Yeah. But if you're doing it on purpose, you'll be doing hundreds of thousands of damage every time. And also,
even the bosses you can do huge chunks of their health, half of their fucking health.
If you have one of those attacks that kills multiple people, like war amp or war rage or whatever, or the bunch of
I think air
ones.
slash attacks the group.
You'll start with over half your party bar filled after doing a combo, so it's very easy to sort of keep looping and doing combos, and that's how you kill the bonus bosses because they get really hard.
I thought that the point was to try to do the rhythm that they want you to do of like what is it? Like
break, topple,
topple,
it's not
smash
it's
or whatever.
Nothing to like. The only thing is that it, for some enemies, it's beneficial to do that to them. But really, what it wants you to do is the Uno game of following the color combo to get.
Okay.
Yeah. So pay more attention.
I wish
that
I would have known this way earlier in the game because I played ahead and am like, I've got like maybe an hour left of this. I think I have the final boss left. I'm in the last area of the game, so it's a little late, but. Okay, that's handy.
Yeah, that happened to me in Xenoblade 2, where I figured out how the elemental combos work right before the last boss, basically. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty fun. So there are hundreds of gates. Meanwhile, Sharla and Ryan have a little cutscene about why Ryan is doing this, and she's like. You're going to do this live or die. And Ryan's like, no, actually, I'm going to survive and we're going to be friends and it's going to be great. And she's like, oh, that's really different than my dead fiance who said he was going to kill himself, die trying. And he's like, oh, that's great. You and me should kiss Snog now. And
no, he does not.
No, he doesn't say that.
Rain is a darling.
Yeah, he's great.
He's like, what he specifically says, I wrote it down, is that he says he wants to survive because he can't accomplish anything if he's dead. So he thinks that, being willing to die is absurd. He thinks that the point is that you should survive so that you can continue accomplishing things.
And
I like this. This actually made me like Ryan.
Gadot is just a beta sucker who did not. He was like, oh, I'll die fighting for this cause. And then he did. And now he's back as a robot.
Yeah, as a bad boy robot.
Charla realizes right away, she recognizes her fiance's voice and is like, hey, you're my fiance. Don't you remember me? But he doesn't. He does not remember her at all. I like this fight. It was a very different boss fight than a lot of them because it had this interesting mechanic. Basically, he's a sniper and he's at the end of this long corridor, and you have to sort of go between these walls to get away from a sniper bullet that can usually take out one of your people in one hit. So that was pretty fun. I like that as a fighting mechanic. I got a lot of future visions of people getting hit by the bullet, and then but I was like a foot from the wall, and then I got behind the wall, and it was like, never mind.
Yep. Yeah, I did too. It was almost hard to get down there because there were so many future visions. Yes.
I think you can turn them off, which I keep almost doing because I'm like, I don't need to see these. I know that when a character's low on health, they could die, and the game over.
I'm playing it on easy mode, so like it's like it doesn't matter. I'll kill you before you get it off.
Mm-hmm. The only
Press
thing
space
is
to get off.
that you are.
Should I explain why I keep saying that?
Yeah, no. I don't understand the reference.
Jim was playing a game on his stream last night where he was riding a bike around, and the message that pops up when you're riding the bike is press space to get off, and now I'm obsessed with that.
That game was...
What's it called?
It was... I was actually just pulling it up.
Danganronpa?
It is called Fears to Fathom Episode 3. But it was kind of creepy, and then at the end, it scared me out of my chair.
He did. He screamed and jumped and was really upset. Is it just kind of a walking simulator? Like, was there a way to survive that scenario?
No, it's one of those things where you just kind of move through the different scenarios.
Is this the peeing game?
Yes.
Okay.
This has realistic peeing physics.
And you can press space to get off.
Did you play that Thomas the Tank Engine game?
No, I haven't played Choo Choo Charles yet. Because you said you wanted to stream it, so I haven't.
I want to stream it with you. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we should do that. That'd be fun.
What are you talking about? Choo Choo Charles?
There's a horror Thomas the Tank Engine game where a no-name version of... or the great value version of Thomas the Tank Engine's like stalking you around.
And it has spider legs.
It sounds great. Anyway.
Sounds unlicensed to me. You know how I feel about that. I guess it's a parody.
So Charlotte's like, well, we can attack the face mech, but we're not going to kill him because there's a real boy inside. And
yeah, Shulk also is very much like, we can't kill this dude. And I gotta be like, I said this last week, so I'm not going to belabor the point, but I very much would just kill this man.
And there had been a couple of shots during this fight of Fiora's face, and it was glowing a devil red. And then Charlotte walks out in front of Godot and is like, Godot, I know it's you. Please remember being in love. Remember a loving life with me. Charlotte?
This worked on Fiora from Shulk and
when
Dunban.
he was like, "Hey, it's me, Shulk."
It kind of makes sense because she doesn't know what we saw in the cutscene where Eagle was like. By the way, I was pronouncing it Eagle last week. It's definitely Eagle.
Yeah,
where Eagle is straight up like, I'll erase all his fucking memories. Like, we know that, but she doesn't know that.
That's
so
true.
This makes sense. This worked. It worked before. She's at work.
And
but apparently he doesn't love her enough for it to work because he
doesn't remember her, and he's about to totally sniper her. But then Fiora's eyes glow a devil red again, and they're fine. Cut to
Eagle. Well, he kind of like he snipers at everyone and then hits all of them except for her, right?
He doesn't hit Charlotte because Ryan jumps in front of her and takes a bullet for her.
I thought he didn't hit Charlotte because he secret loves her.
Maybe.
Ryan definitely took a bullet for her.
Okay.
Cut to Shulk floating in space. Now, remember, this is a JRPG. The protagonist does have to end up in outer space for some reason.
Yeah.
And here we go. He is in outer space.
I liked this.
He's
And
talking to Zanza, I think. And
I don't know. Zanza's not trying to help him, and this is like, or is it like, you know what? I don't know. What does it say here, Johnny?
oh,
Yeah, I don't really remember either. Is it like, fuck you, kill everyone, and kill Mechonis? Or is it like,
it was
you're
about. I
better
think it was
than
about
this?
the power of the Monado and how it was Bionis's weapon. I don't remember.
No. They explain all that shit later. That's like
Okay.
the end of this chunker is when they explain all that shit.
Okay, I don't exactly remember what was going on in this cutscene. I'm sorry. I know I failed you all.
Well, I feel like you didn't fail us because I feel like it was definitely just word salad about fucking heart and soul and Monado, which... Right? Like it was some nothing talk, but you know, you do get a great scene of Shulk floating in space, which classic JRPG moment right here.
Yeah, I don't even remember this happening at this moment. I remember when he goes to space later, but this cutscene might as well have not have happened.
it was not super memorable. It does have, I guess there's some spoilers as to where he is, but I won't go on. Let's see.
Well, so we cut back to the
Oh,
group,
you know
and they're
what?
like,
It's-
"What? We're alive."
It's Alvis he's talking to. And Alvis is like, hey, Shulk, why do you want to change the future? And Shulk's
You're right.
like, because I want to save my friends. And Alvis says, if you want to defy fate, then you must find his Monado, his own Monado. There you go. That's what's happening. Oh, it just spoiled something for the next chunker, but that's okay. That's what I get for reading a wiki.
Yeah, I thought that happened later, but whatever.
No, there's another. He goes back to this place later.
All right.
It's not his last time floating in outer space. So
we cut scene back to these guys all being like, "Oh, the fuck are we alive?" And here we get a huge reveal. Huge reveal. We are introduced to Egil's sister, Vanessa.
yes, Vanessa.
Yeah, it's me.
Eagle's sister.
Egil's sister, Vanessa.
It's me, and it looked like
she-
me, and it's very disturbing when I show up in a video game.
Robo-Nessa.
And Robo-Nessa shows up. She's like a shapely lady robot. She doesn't have the butt head of the other one, Linnea.
You're right. She does not have the butt head.
Yeah.
She does refer to Fiora as Lady Mayneth. Now,
She's sweet lady.
pause moment.
moment.
Pause moment here. From context clues, I think I figured this out by now. But at this point, I was like, Lady who? Did they introduce this before now? What are they talking about? Lady who?
I think they sort of made passing reference to Lady Mayneth.
Okay.
Yes. She has been. I think Fiora called her Lady Mayneth once, or they referred to her as Lady Mayneth. And voulez-vous guerrer avec les Mechons avec moi? Je suis Lady Mayneth. Yeah, get it? Because she's Lady Marmalade.
I do get it.
It's not a great
Yep.
bit, but you know, I'm gonna keep with it. I think it'll get funnier.
Well, people might say that Lady Marmalade has had 2 peaks in its life. The first being the initial release of the song, and the second, the re-recording for the film version of Moulin Rouge. But there is a semi-successful version of Moulin Rouge on Broadway right now. So perhaps this is the 3rd time for that song to shine.
Yes, that's true. It is. If not, it is a 20-something-year-old reference at this point, or a 40-year-old reference.
At least.
I had
which
a
version you want to talk about.
Moulin Rouge. I don't mean to sound derogatory of anything or of any disabilities.
Super queer.
Moulin Rouge made me feel like I was having a seizure, and I could not make it more than like 20 minutes into that movie. I don't know why. I never watched it again.
I liked it
after,
until
like,
it got
this one
super
time I tried
boring
it.
at the end.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it. It just got so melodramatic and blah.
Well, the song, it just lost its energy and became way too much Nicole Kidman, and she's not a great singer, so, you know.
I'll take your word for it, because I couldn't watch it.
I think the first hour is really good. More of, I like Baz Luhrmann.
I just couldn't watch it. So we get a bit of exposition from Vanessa here. Mm-hmm. She explains to us that the reason the Monado couldn't hurt the Homs, or other bionic, I guess we'll say, beings, even though it does, because we kill lots of things on Bionis with the Monado. But anyway, the reason it couldn't hurt Homs is because the Monado can't hurt Zanza, and Zanza is the progenitor of all life on Bionis.
Yes.
And that is why, and we have already figured this out, but that is why the face Mechon have human. It says here, so it corrects me from last week when I was saying stupid things. The face Mechon, what they have are human brain stems.
Like a
Brain
RoboCop.
stems.
Like a RoboCop. Last week I was saying I thought there was more human to that, but I was wrong. Anyway, they have brain stems in them, and so that is why they're immune to the Monado, because the Monado can't hurt Zanza, and Zanza is the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather of every person, Hyentia, Pashul, but not the lizard people or the ogres or any of the other humanoid monsters that we kill.
I guess.
But it does say all life on Bionis stems from Zanza, so why is it able to hurt the bunnies and the cows and all the other shit?
But the important part too is that the presence inside of Fiora is Lady Mayneth, who is the equivalent of Zanza. She is a progenitor of all life on the Mechonis.
On the Mechonis?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really interesting. So, there are essentially, two universal poles, in a sense, right? There's the Bionis and the Mechonis. That's interesting. It sets up an interesting dichotomy for the game.
Yeah, a bit like Biloblog and Chernoblog. Is that what they're called? Well,
we
you know
learned
what I
that.
mean.
I don't know what that means.
We learned that Zanza and Egil used to be BFFs. But then it was a weird cutscene. Like one day Zanza's just like, fuck you, and attacks the Mechonis. And since he is they refer to them as the soul of the Bionis, Zanza and Lady Mayneth being the soul of the Mechonis. And as we will learn here in a few minutes, being the soul means that you can control the body, I guess, because Zanza used the Bionis and attacked the Mechonis, and that is the origin of this war.
Yeah. The Bionis attacked first, and everyone on the Bionis thought the Mechonis attacked first. So this is a real, topsy-turvy, change in your worldview kind of thing.
Hang on. Frustration point. Who attacked who first was never my fucking question when I was playing this game.
Han shot first.
My question was, what the fuck is this giant ocean world with two giant monsters standing in it that clearly died killing each other? That was my question. And instead of answering that, and it's been a source of frustration for me throughout this whole game, and it continues throughout this whole chunker, because that question is still just never really talked about, thought about, discussed. And instead, we're learning about which of the giants struck first, and I guess that means that the Bionis should feel responsible for the genocide that occurred. And I guess I don't know. I don't care. What does this have to do with what I want to know, which is what's with these two giants that are standing in an ocean? What's the rest of the world look like? What's going on? But that's never answered. Instead, we're learning which one stabbed the other one first. I give a shit. I don't.
Well, it does matter, because one of them was acting in self-defense and one of them was an aggressor.
Okay, but we are thousands of years later and just ants trying to survive on it. So why should this matter to any of these people?
Because there's no statute of limitation on murder.
So Vanessa was having fun when she was playing through this.
And
She did post a lot of pictures of Zanza's naked, beefy butt and his
he's real naked
pube-covered
and beefy.
crotch.
Uh-huh.
It's not beefy.
It's not pube. It's like fur.
So she's going to guide us to the capital. Meanwhile, cut to, we've got Winghead Boy, very, very strong boy.
Prince Winghead.
He
Prince with the biggest wings on his head.
Part of the assault on Sword Valley. Finally,
He's the head of the assault on Sword Valley.
The Nopon, Homs, and High. What are they called? Entia are fighting
Alliance.
together against the
Rebel
Mechon
Alliance.
Menace. And I love watching the Nopons be like, "We're going to show how strong Nopons are." They gave us real.
You're not doing these lines in a Russian accent, so it doesn't vibe.
You
with the
boys
actual
are
game.
super strong and show how great they are.
Wait, you do a great job at it. Do it more.
Thank you. It's another one that does hurt the old throat, though.
Oh.
And so yeah, their fight is going on, and then Winghead Boy is like, the prince is like, I'm gonna be here at the head. I'm gonna fight along with everyone else, because his general's like, you're in danger, sir. And he's like, no, we're all going to fight together. And then the first wave of spears come at them, and a lot of their compatriots are stabbed, but they're gonna keep on going. I do get kind of what species is Jar Jar again? The Nopon are kind of
He's a Gungan.
The Nopon are a little Gungan-y in this battle.
Yeah.
How the fuck did I know what race Jar Jar is?
So fast. Like right on the draw. Like, you wanted to interject so bad.
Been on the tip of
again-
my tongue for so long. I've been waiting to get asked what race Jar Jar is.
You didn't
Vanessa
sound
knows who
unexcited
Yertle
about it when you
is.
said it either.
Vanessa knew the Gungans right away too, but she was gonna hold off on that to not seem like she knew who the Gungans were.
Uh-huh. It's very
What's the name
tactical.
of Lady Yoda again? Yertle?
Yertle, who lives in the hole?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it might be Yertle. My
so we
favorite
get-
Star Wars character.
That was
come
almost
out-
a spit take. I barely swallowed in time.
So we
You want to know why I sounded like
so we take a little break from dungeon crawling for a moment around the knee, or like somewhere mid thigh, and
No, we're up in the tummy now.
before I thought Ignathia was in the tummy.
Maybe you're right.
It was
Ignathia
thigh
was in,
because
like, the
they say
chest.
like, "Oh, where are we?" And they're like, "Oh, you're somewhere around mid thigh. You still got about halfway to go." And Ricky's like,
Johnny was like mid thigh. Yum.
"Ricky, hungies."
Oh no.
They have a little break. There's some more fun sliding to secret areas and to get bonus little what are those little drops, that you can get here.
There is it here or is it the Central Factory? Maybe it's the Central Factory that has the secret shop room and like bonus room. Did you guys find that?
Yeah, I did find that.
Uh-huh.
All the crystals you can get and all that. That was pretty fun.
But the point is that Vanea offers to guide us through the Central Factory into Agnaratha, which is the capital, the like post-apocalyptic abandoned capital of the Mechona, whatever the fuck they're called. And so off we go to the Central Capital, the Central Factory. I don't have a lot of notes on the Central Factory because other than a couple of short cutscenes, not a lot happens. It's just a long ass dungeon, and this is part one of the Rogue Galaxy dungeons where it is just there are two of these in a row. It's the same. It's not the exact same. Like the layout's different, but it's still the same thing. You just walk around 3-ish levels, fucking flipping switches to turn on things to move on to the next part.
This part was a little more annoying because they had ones on rafters shooting at you at some points that were really hard to get to.
I had that in Agnaratha too, though. I had all over Agnaratha, which
But
we're
in
not at yet,
Agnaratha,
but
it was
whatever.
easier to get
kept
to
getting
where they
attacked
were.
by shit. Well, yes, that's a good point.
There
You're
were
right.
some points where you I think at this point you could literally can't get to those scaffolds that some of these
so
enemies
you're
are
right.
on and sniping
That's
at you.
really fucking annoying.
Yeah, that was really annoying, but I snuck by them. You can sort of weave around.
Yeah, or just kind of disengage and run away from battle.
Yeah. So you have to... There keeps being like gates and elevators in the games. Gives you little pop-up quests that are like, okay, now you need to blow up this door. Okay, now you need to open this vent. Okay, now you need...
Yeah,
It's
this
not-
makes you collect bomb parts so that you
Yeah.
can build a bomb to blow up a vent. It's dumb. It's nothing.
It's
I mean,
my
it's
problem
fine.
with Bioshock 1, where a lot of the forward momentum of the story is killed by, oh, we can't get through here. You have to find a way around. It's like, okay, sure.
This
you
game
could've-
reminds me. This game reminds me why MMOs are so playable, because you can just turn your brain off and barely participate in what's going on.
Yes.
And clear out a huge area.
I
And you'll
was
level up a
definitely-
bunch and you'll get all new shit and you'll be like, yeah, this is fucking great. But at the same time, you look back and you're like, I did nothing.
No, I still had
nothing
fun
to
here.
that time.
Listening to a podcast and playing this, I had a good time.
Yeah.
But I would say this is the weakest part of the game, for sure. Like,
To be honest, I think if more games had like a strong loot system where I was always getting loot, like new armor and stuff, I would play the shit out of all the games.
well, this
Yeah.
game has a good loot system and the gems and stuff, and I'm always crafting. I did actually run out of space for gem components, so I had to spend like 2 hours crafting gems just to sell them.
Yeah. Like, I'm playing BioShock 2 right now, and I think that's a big part of the forward momentum of the game is killing splicers or looking in boxes and stuff to get more money and more ammo. Like, it just keeps you churning forward. I think the games that do that right have kind of figured that out, that forward momentum part of, like, keeping you interested.
Borderlands is really good at that too.
Yeah, Borderlands is kind of like the perfect version of that, because like it has so many different styles of loot. Like there's so many different like stats that like a gun can have. It's really cool.
Yep. So we finally blow up the vent and then make it up to Agnaratha. And we notice there's a lot of dead Telethia. And Vinnea's like, okay. Once again, did we mention Vinnea is Eagle's sister?
Yeah.
Which is important. But she's like, yeah, but he kind of sucks. So I'll help you out here.
Well, they sort of talk about how they'd like to talk it out with him, but if that's not possible, then they will do him a kill.
Yeah, which makes sense. But she's like, oh, why there's Telethia here will make sense in a second. I'm going to take you to the exposition hologram room, which is not as good as an exposition mural room, but I'll take it. I do like an exposition hologram. This reminds me again of the end of Breath of Fire 3, with the like theme park explaining the history of the planet. So we go up to the top and we watch a beautiful vision of what happened to this high-tech city that we found ourselves in that is fully dead and abandoned. And it turns out that a long time...
Okay, hang on.
Yeah?
It's not fully dead and abandoned because it is fucking filled to the brim with bad guys.
Well, after you get to the first part of the city is not full of bad guys. It's the second part that is full of bad guys. So we watch a long cutscene that shows how Zanza, the beefy bear dad, did launch an attack, and Telethia was like the main fighter jets. They were the X-wings of the Bionis.
Yeah, while the Bionis attacked with the Monado and like struck at the Mechonis, the Telethia flew across and like attacked the city and killed people and
we do
yada
see
yada yada. I still don't like these fucking Telethia. Like, this is just shitty design. They're just generic looking fucking slime monsters.
Yeah.
It's boring. And I see that there are like differences. Some have like 2 heads and some have 3 heads and some have 1. And they kind of look like dragons, but they have no defining features and they're all the same color, which is this like pink blue mesh color. And it's just fucking boring.
And
Boring.
here there is, a bunch of fossilized ones. I'll talk about that in the special bonus mission that I did. I'm sure you both did because it was so easy and fun. But so the big takeaway is Zanza's a jerk, and Eagle has some reasons to be mad, and the Telethia were used as weapons. Also, I was wrong last episode. Matthew was right. You do watch the Bionis cut off the Mechonis' arm, and that is what falls to the ground.
Yeah, that's we see that in the next chunker, but
And
yes,
that
is
eventually became Florida.
Yeah, that's how Florida was made.
that's exactly how Florida looks. Is it's just some junk cities and some monsters roaming around, and ladders to heaven. It's meth.
No, it's Scientology.
So, at this point, Mayneth takes over Fiora for a little bit, and you hear the two voices of Mayneth and Fiora. And she's like, so I am the soul of the Mechonis, Zanza's the soul of Bionis. I created the Mechana and was revered as a god, but then Zanza attacked, striking the Mechonis with the Monado, and sent the Telethia to ravage the Mechana. The battle ended when the Bionis cut off the Mechonis' arm. That's what created the arm below. And the Mechonis stabbing the Bionis in the stomach.
Yeah, he stabs him right in the tum-tum, and that is what created, and it was pretty clear, but that is Sword Valley.
Yeah. Because he created, because he attacked the Mechonis, the Hyantia were like, hey, Zanza, that wasn't cool. And they did put him into that prison where he was trapped forever. And Mayneth was like, okay, this is great, but we all know that he will be released later. And then cut to Shulk being like, and tugging on his collar a little bit, being like,
Who would do that? Oy, oy, oy.
Oy, 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 oy.
Vanea placed Lady Mayneth in Fiora because she had a relationship with the bearer of the Monado, and she just wants to stop this fight, one that has been raging forever. Shulk feels real guilty about that, and being the one that's carrying the Monado, and the Monado's bad because it's Zanza's sword. And she's like, yeah, but you're the one who's using it. So just don't be a jerk and you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you need to go to Lady Mayneth's shrine, and there you can confront Egil. And Godot attacks again. Uh-oh.
Again?
Yep.
I didn't play
Godot
this
shows
far.
back up.
I didn't play this far, but...
Oh, really? I thought you said to play through all the cutscenes and shit. Like, the game keeps going.
I unlocked the shrine. I was like, oh, okay, I'll stop here. But I guess I should have kept going.
Well, we can stop here and do it next time.
Sorry about that, listeners. I misunderstood. Because I didn't want to go to the shrine.
But I wrote all these notes.
Well, I mean, you can keep going. I'll catch
Well,
up.
we can use the notes next time, Matt. We'll just copy and paste them. It's not a problem.
Just gotta all make sure to finish.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, we'll all
I'm
finish.
almost done with it. Matt's almost done with it. And Johnny almost finishes.
I'll
Jim's going to finish.
I'll
Jim's
finish
gonna
it.
press space.
Jim, you do have like
Press space to get off.
65 hours to play.
I mean,
Just a
for me,
heads
it
up.
might be like 30 hours. So.
That's true.
Jim is pretty fast at games.
All right. So, let's see. Yeah. I have
What
not done this
choose
part.
your own adventure? Are there any weird side quests you want to talk about?
I like the one where you just find the bodies of the Telethia, and I was playing as Ricky, and all Ricky was like is, here is Telethia that Machine told us to get, because there's these terminals that are like, let's rebuild this city. All you have to do is find these bits and then study the Telethia that attacked. these terminals are left over. So even though they're like, you should destroy these malfunctioning Mechon and stuff, they don't do anything. And the quest notes do tell you like nothing. This doesn't change anything because these quest givers are ancient. You're just doing this for the treasure and the experience and the money. I made like $750,000 gold doing this.
There's not a lot to do with money in this game, though, I feel like.
Buy those books. That's
I
really
yeah.
the only thing that matters.
And so this area is full of named Mechon, and they have a chance of dropping books for like the
really?
top level of everyone's art. So I got a ton of like high level art books here. So that was pretty great.
I didn't realize. I did not notice any books being picked up. That's a real
I
bummer.
found a ton of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's because you did good and used attacks right, and I just kind of let the game play
I
itself.
wonder if it might give you.
Took a nap.
I know it definitely gives you more SP if you do kill things via those combos. Not with combos. You don't actually want to try kill someone with combos because they're little and like corn chips, and they won't actually hurt anyone unless they choke on them. Maybe. Jim, have you tried to kill anyone with combos, the snacks that you find at a gas station?
Yes, and it always works because what's inside of combos? Gross dog food.
I thought it was
diarrhea to the point where they die.
it was pizza. Next week we're gonna finish this fucking piece of shit, and that's how
and
I'm
then
gonna
can
segue us into what we're all squarely against. And I'm
Wait,
gonna make Jim go
have
first
we-
because he ain't played this game.
Have we announced what we're playing next?
Everybody know it, Mass Effect 3.
Everyone know it, Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3. I'm so excited.
It's pretty exciting. It's BioWare
It is.
again, my favorite month of the year. Because it's the month of the year that I get to play a good game and not some anime bullshit.
I love anime bullshit.
Well, depending on how our listeners vote this year, you might get a lot of non-anime bullshit.
That's true.
We could be playing Quantum Break.
They could have said that. That could have been true for this year, and it wasn't. So I have bad news for next year.
Our listeners love JRPGs.
They
love
do.
them.
I mean, we
Jim,
started
you
this
have yet
podcast
to-
because we love our JRPGs, so I guess I can't
That's a good
complain
point.
too much.
That is our whole deal.
Jim, you proposed a system for voting next year that then kind of failed to actually explain it. You were just kind of like, I don't know. And I don't know how
What I
to
was
respond.
thinking was we all pick however many games we want, and then we can fit it into whatever bracket fits the number of games that we pick, and then
For each pick or for the year?
for the year. For the year. So like we have one bracket for the year, and then whatever matchup happens, we play the winner of that matchup.
But then what happens to the game that wins? Like, so say
That
we
is
play-
something I didn't think through until right before you said that. So if a game that we play wins more than once, what do we do? I don't know.
But also,
I
we
don't know
only
the
play
answer to
like
that.
6 fucking games a year.
Yeah.
So is it going to
Play,
be...
like, is it 6?
I don't know.
Yeah,
John, how
6
many
or
games
7.
did we play this
Well,
year?
I think we played
We
like
played
No,
like
I
50.
liked Johnny's voting idea of like everybody gets to pick 4 and then the listeners
But
pick
that's what
one
we
of
did
those.
this year.
No, it's not because it will
We
be like
always
Matt.
picked one game this.
Matt
in
gets to pick
2022.
3 games that he wants to play, and then the listeners will vote out of those 3.
They can be whatever. Are we opening up the gates to whatever genre we want?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
Matt
let's
picks.
let's do that.
4
I like that.
or 10, as many games as Matthew wants to pick, and then the listeners vote on all those. So Matthew gets to pick the first however many games. It has to be more than one. It has to be at least 2 games. So Matthew can't just say vote
Yeah,
on
that
the
was
one
my
game.
like. Y'all are all like, however many games do you want to pick? I can't think of one per
Matt-
fucking season. What
Whatever
are you talking
genre
about?
you want, bud.
Any
The
game.
only why would I don't? This is a classic JRPG podcast.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
you can skip your.
you
I
already
wanna-
said you want to play Final Fantasy 4 or 5 this year. So
Yeah.
maybe put those up.
You know what? We're
also said
rebranding.
that.
This is a classic video game.
Well, I agreed
podcast.
with you.
I think we should play both of those games this year. To be honest with you, I think we should play 4 and 5 because Jim wants to rebrand
should.
the show, and we should knock out all of the mainline Final Fantasies before that
I
happens.
really do want to play 4. I'd never played 1.
1, 2 through 3 are bad. Like,
Well, no,
there's no
I've heard one
plot
is
to
the worst,
speak
yeah.
of.
2 has a plot. 2 is the one that's a little different.
One does
that
not,
does
though,
have a
right?
plot. 1 and 3 kind of don't have. Well, I mean, they have a bit of a plot. I think we'd still have fun.
Yeah, they have a bit of a plot, but it's like Zelda plot.
Yeah.
It's nothing to
But
fucking
2
talk
has
about.
a real plot.
Yeah.
2 has like characters that die and stuff.
4,
At the very
then
least,
4.
and not to like, maybe we should cut this, but like, we could be talking about like a rebrand. But if we're gonna do that, we got to play fucking Final Fantasy 4 and 5 at least. Like, those are. The show needs to cover certain games that we have not covered.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. Why don't you put 4 and 5 as the first vote?
But how does that work? But then we said both, and then you'll
Well-
put 4 and 3 as the second vote,
Just something like 4 and 2. I don't know.
and then
Yeah.
what? Like meatball in my pants, make me think my balls ripped out of my ball sack.
Yeah.
Putting down my leg, make me think I have mighty diarrhea.
Putting in my
Yeah.
shoes make it look like I shooted diarrhea down my leg.
Don't correct my quotes.
Make me think I'm mighty sick.
It's the time of the show where they just say, I think you should leave quotes to each other.
So, Vanessa, what are you roundly
Season 3 is
for
going
or
to come out, and
squarely
life's over
against?
for Vanessa.
I know.
I
Well,
didn't
we'll call
hear
Jim
your
first.
question, Johnny.
I called on Jim first.
Oh, it's
All
not.
right.
We haven't even talked about like the bonus missions. Vanessa has
Right.
a bonus
Yeah, we
mission
did.
to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Or
Did
different.
I?
I sure as shit didn't. That's why I tried to move on to squarely
Side
against.
quest. I did one about the Nopon's clocks because they were just totally getting drunk all the time because the clocks were messed up.
Whenever
did-
you say no pawn and then something else, I always think of the no farts Joker.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Great, the no farts Joker from the meme. You guys
not a
don't know what
thing.
the no farts Joker is?
I don't know what a no farts Joker is.
There's so many memes, Jim. Who can remember? I'm sure if you send it to us, we'd all be like, oh, yeah, that thing. Who knows the
don't-
name of a fucking meme?
That's not
What
a
are you
thing.
squarely against, Jim?
I'm not done talking about
No,
my
we're not
special
done
side
with
quest.
Other
Oh, I
stuff.
thought you said you didn't have one. Sorry.
I thought of one.
All right.
I was in that Nopon village and I found this horny Nopon and it was like, I'm super horny. I need a wife, but there are 2 ladies and I can't figure out which one to bed down. One of them is the prettiest
farts.
girl I've ever seen and the other one is super mysterious. So please, will you help me and decide for me? So then I was wandering around looking for these ladies and I found the first one. And she's like, I'm so
No farts
heckin'
is what she
pretty.
said.
But I want a wedding dress so I can marry this this horny Nopon. So go get me like 4 wings and I'll make my dress. So I did that and I figured then I would be able to like talk to the mysterious lady. But as soon as I gave her her dress stuff, she was like, sweet, I'm going to go marry him. And then it like faded to black and then faded back. And she's like, we're married now. Bye.
I did the other one and it was pretty much the same, except she was like, I'm going to control him. He seems like easy to manipulate, so it'll be
Oh,
great.
no.
It was
I guess I
amazing.
picked the right one.
Yeah,
there are
I
a few
think I did
quests
pick
like
the
this.
wrong one.
Because there was a quest in Colony 9 that was like that too, where
Yep.
there was a lady and she was like into 2 different guys, or 2 guys were into her. And neither of them seemed good. But the one I ended up choosing was like, yeah, I guess I'll string her along a little while longer by marrying her. And I'm like, that's not how you string someone along. That's it. I have a
And-
lot to talk about next week because the world really opens up a lot and you get a lot of new areas and interesting side quests.
And Matthew says he hasn't done any side quests.
That's what he claims,
I
but
finished that. I finished that side quest with the Mechanoboy that was afraid of heights, and his girlfriend loved the gift that I brought her, and I think she asked me to take something back to him, and I did. I don't know. That's it. Sorry.
they do kind of run together because they are a little bit samey.
They're all
Eventually.
fetch quests.
Yeah.
Every single one is
Yeah.
a fetch quest.
Yeah.
Every side quest in this game is just a fetch quest.
Or going and fixing broken clocks so that no buns can get drunk.
No
at the correct
buns.
time. No farts. All right, Jim, what are you roundly for or squarely against?
I'm roundly for the lore that's beginning to open up in this game. I like the idea of there being like two progenitors of both species that have descendants and they're still going at it. I think that's cool. I like that. It's a very simple, like, bad guy, good guy thing for the most part. I think it's cool. Matt, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against everything Jim just said, and him in general. But particularly the plot of this game, the story of this game, has devolved into shit that I said it earlier, things that I just don't care about. This is not what I'm interested in when I see this world and this setting, and it's frustrating that the questions I want answered are ignored entirely in favor of questions that I could not care less about. Melodrama. Nonsense melodrama from screaming anime children yelling about word salad souls inside of fucking monsters. It doesn't matter. It's nothing. It's bad. Maybe it'll like tie itself together really well next week, but I am not keeping my fingers crossed. Vanessa.
I'm really for Vanessa, aka Vanessa, being in this game. I always think it's pretty cool when developers are like, let's play tribute to Vanessa by having someone who's named her and looks just like her, which I mean has massive honkers. Honk honk. Johnny.
Let's see.
Honk honk.
I'm roundly for just doing all those terrible, fun Nopon side quests. The writing is really silly for them, and they're just basically walking up and down the tree and talking to people, and that's great. I fully endorse it.
I don't really understand what happens when you raise your affinity in certain areas, but I kind of like that you can do that because who doesn't want to be popular?
It unlocks new trade items, and that there are some ways to trade to get things for Colony 6, but like you have to be like town affinity level 4 in order to get the level 4 item that you can to do the dust elemental or whatever.
I haven't leveled up my city since the one level that I leveled it up, and I don't intend to in any way, shape, or form.
I have commerce and housing at level 5, like the max level.
Wow.
And
Vanessa
one of
always
them,
goes the hardest on these things. We should have known.
I always say that I won't and that I don't care, and then I always end up doing it. And I've just been playing it while I like have the TV on in the background, and it caused a lot of problems because I was watching this British sitcom, and at one point they referred to a character being American, and I was like, I have never noticed anyone with an American accent in this show. Am I losing my mind? No, it was just a totally different character. And that's what happens when you only listen and don't look at the screen. The end. But there's nothing wrong with a radio drama.
Is that all of the squarely against?
Yep.
That is.
We don't have an email to read this week, but we do have a great post from the Facebook group that I want to read. From new member Matt. He said, I started listening to Square Roots a couple months ago and love it. Makes me laugh every episode. Guys, can you believe that people feel that way about this show?
Sucker! No, just kidding.
Thank you, Matt. That was nice. It made my day.
Yeah. I can't. And then sometimes when I'm watching like content by other people who I enjoy, I'm like, wow, someone out there like feels this way about our content. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Hey, do any of you listeners like fall asleep listening to this show like I do to the fucking Stephen McElroy Brothers shows? You tell me, because that would be weird, and I would like to hear it.
Well, we had a couple of those posts this week, didn't we, Matt?
Singing you off to
Yeah, we had another like I'm brand new post too.
We did.
Don't put me on the
I'm
spot.
trying to find
I did the one.
it.
Why don't you fucking
No,
do the
we
one?
had one today and one a couple days ago.
We don't want to shout out one dude and freeze
Yeah,
out
we
the
had
other
another
one.
really complimentary post. I can't find it, but I know it's there.
We really do appreciate those. Sometimes I don't comment on them because I get shy.
Well, I don't want to be like a
We just got one from Matt, and that was
That's
real
the one
nice.
I read.
Yeah, there's another one.
There's
too.
another one though. There's one more.
Let's see. I'll
But I
find
would
it.
say, like, shout out to the Facebook group. The great thing about it is that it has a lot of people who aren't us, but who are similarly inclined to build welcoming and inclusive communities in the gaming space. And so a lot of people just talk to each other there, and I think that's great. And we have some people like Greg Bailey, who takes it on himself to run like little bracket tournaments and things like that. There's a Facebook Messenger chat, and there's almost always people hanging out there. I know sometimes if some people are like feeling lonely or just having a hard time, they talk to each other, and I think that's wonderful.
That is
We have a
cool.
really inclusive group. We have 84% men and 12% women.
That's not quite
And the
100%.
other one was Matt. All our new listeners are named Matt, so welcome, Matts.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, Mats.
Oh, yeah,
And
it's
I
also a Matt.
am pro army of Mats taking over this
Oh,
entire
no.
space.
There's at least a 40%
John, I was
chance
intentionally
that a
leaving
white
out
guy's going to
last
be named
names.
Matt.
It's true.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I will bleep those last names.
Yeah, bleep them.
Yep.
Welcome, Matt and Matt. And I think I
Matt
did
Greasy
see a meme.
Matts.
Matt, didn't I send you a meme a while ago that says, like, if you don't know a guy named Matt who's hurt you, then you are the guy named Matt? Something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
There was something like that. And when we did the dog or human names a few
That's
weeks
right.
ago,
Matt
Matt
was
was
a dog
100% human. Was it a dog
It
name?
was a dog name. It was a dog name.
Yep.
Matt.
Wow.
So we'll put out the welcome Matt so that Matts will know they're welcome.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Welcome, Matt. I like
Yeah.
it.
All right. Who wants to talk about the Patreon? Jim.
I did it the last 5
Yeah.
You
weeks,
do
I
it
think.
every time.
Every time you don't play, you do. That's your punishment.
That's your
Oh,
punishment.
man. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so we do have a
That's how I feel
Patreon
about
you can subscribe to. We have 2 different tiers, subscription tiers. The first is $3, and with that $3, you get access to pretty much everything. All of our bonus content we put out every month that we have been putting out for the last 5-6 years.
Oh, there's so much in there.
There's a lot. You know what? I don't know that I fully understand everything that's in our back Patreon catalog. There's a lot that's in
Well,
there.
you definitely haven't fully listened to
Instant
everything that's in our back
Classics is-
catalog.
I definitely have not.
Squarely against. For a while, we did Marvel movie reviews, but then we fell off on that.
Yeah, we did level ups.
I think the last Marvel movie review we did was Captain Marvel, where we did not ever talk about the movie.
I think we did one other one after that, right?
I think we did a show. We may have done WandaVision or Loki.
Nah, I don't know. But there's I don't know, other games. There's a commentary on there we did for Ghost Ship. We have more commentaries planned. I can't wait to do another one of those, by the way.
I agree, and I want to do one today. What's next?
Next, we talked about doing. What did we talk about doing?
No farts. We're doing Danganronpa for the month of January.
Yeah,
Right.
January's bonus is Danganronpa, which is, as of the release of this podcast, no longer on Game Pass.
You should have played it when you had the chance.
Yeah,
You had a
we've been
month
talking
and a
about it for
half.
like 6 weeks.
Well, being
but-
more accusatory towards the group and less to our listeners, but
That is this month's bonus. But yeah, that's all available at the $3 tier. At the $5 tier, you get access to all that, plus the ability to vote on the games that we play for the show. And just like 2022, 2023 is another year of all votes. I think we all like that. It's a lot of pressure for us to rotate games, especially when we run out of ideas like we all have in this, 6th, 7th year of this show. So it's nice to put up more games to let the listeners decide what they want. I think we finally have enough listeners to make that a thing. So that's going to be our theme again for this year. So keep an eye out for that after we play Mass Effect 3. So if you'd like to become a patron and have access to all that great content, you can do so at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. And another benefit of being a patron, no matter what subscription tier you are, We like to choose some patrons to personally thank each week, and I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking Isaac Wright, Forrest Birchinall Hodge, Miguel Torres, Alexander Jokic, Andy Smith, Jerry Schreffler. Chief Hazard built a soapbox for Vanessa to rant atop about her dislike of poop jokes.
I don't like them.
Jared Collins, Cyril the Wolf, Drink Every Time the Game Says Monado, Evan K., and Ari Copavara.
I'd like to thank Vanessa's Gold Taco Bell PS5, Chad Wilson, D. Jethro, Benjamin Hilberg, Friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, Race Jenkins, Tracy, the Borg Queen. Happy belated birthday, Tracy. Angel, Citrus C, Tyler Crump, Knopford, and Sean Gonzalez.
I would like to thank Jim. Oh my God, did you see Ben's hat? Mike
Did you see
Klein,
his little... He had
Joseph.
2 cubes in his pocket, Vanessa.
Vanessa,
Mike
can you and I
Klein.
do the one after Joseph?
I think they were dice, but
Sure.
he was too embarrassed to
Okay.
show anybody.
I'll be the second part.
Okay. Joseph. To me.
To you!
To me.
To you!
To me.
To you!
That is a reference to, of course, gem crafting, but for a moment I thought it was a reference to the Chuckle Brothers.
know who those are.
I
Xeno,
don't
baby,
either.
fresh eyes.
Oh, stop it. That's banned on the podcast. That and Heart of Grandma.
Tom. Double Penetration 2099. Julian Curtis. Nick. Do you think the person whose name is understands that we're saying
I
their
don't
name
know.
when we say
You should say small. You should say O underscore zero.
Yeah. O_0 pronounced because that's the face it makes. It's the little eye and then the straight mouth and then the big eye. My battery
like
is low
Deadpool.
and Eric Garby.
I'd like to thank Wash in the Wind, Fresh Eyes,
Fresh
Josh
eyes.
Holt, Jack Mazzell. or if you're an English person trying to talk sexy, Jack Mazzell. Anyway, that didn't
No.
work. Jason
I didn't get
Timms.
it.
Sometimes my bits just don't land, and I think that's just my brand. Aaron Serenity Now, Little, William Westgard, Andy Best, the best Andy, Trey, Wedge Coon, Brent, RP Siege, Sam Harrison, and everyone's favorite marine biologist, Samu Mitchell.
Sam and Mitchell.
All right, friends, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the air, you can email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
That's right.
Hold on.
Okay.
I just want to say none of that is in the notes. It was all deleted,
All from
and
memory.
I did it from.
Yeah,
that's
impressive.
fucking muscle.
That
That's
was
muscle
amazing.
memory, dog.
Yeah,
that's
that was
muscle
amazing.
memory.
I'm impressed. Listen, as I've decided to show tonight, we're no longer just accepting emails. I will read your fucking Facebook posts and tweets on the air. So
That
get
is
rid of
a-
that.
Whatever we want, yeah.
I don't
Text
know
Matt
why
at
people only-
405-555-6969.
Jim, it's 987-65431.
Are you talking about for a great low rate you can get online? Is that?
For a great Matt free trial.
Vanessa,
Put
go
this
to
into
our
your D drive.
terrible meme chat for a moment.
Okay, one
I'm doing
second. I am
No,
going to the.
no, that's it for the episode. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
I'm-
Bye.
I have to thank our sponsors.
Yeah, please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find him on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. I've got links in those show notes. And if you're on Spotify, don't forget to go to squareroots.libsyn.com if you want to hear all the rest of the episodes.
Or just go to your podcast app on your phone because there are
Vanessa
places to get
laughing
podcasts other
Gone
than
to the
Spotify.
terrible.
And probably Spotify's not a great place to get your
Vanessa,
podcast.
I think I found a
because,
pattern
frankly,
here.
It's a toxic environment for
Can you see
podcasters,
multiple
musicians,
patterns
everybody.
in
Probably
face
just ditch
shape,
that Spotify.
hair
Get out of that
color,
thing.
outfits?
Okay, but some of these men that you are claiming are my type. And by the way, if you do join our Facebook group, you can also join the live chats. There's one for just chatting and one for memes. Johnny has filled the one for memes with men that he believes I'm attracted to, some of whom I have said I'm attracted to, some of whom I have not. So where Johnny claims there's a pattern, I just don't know.
I don't know. They all have tiny chins.
Yeah.
Like their heads are shaped like pizza slices.
I do
and
love
floppy
pizza.
hair.
They do have floppy hair, but not long hair, which is, many people think that floppy is long, and it's not. If it's too long, it gets weighted down and it can't flop.
It's true. Raul Esparza is the spoiler, though, and so is Derek Waters. Neither of them fit this pattern.
But they're a little bit like each other, don't you think?
Yeah, that's true. All right, I guess we should say bye now.
Bye.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold
we
on.
have to do it properly.
For Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
And I'm apparently sexually attracted to pizza.
Bye.
Vanessa's type is, I don't know, Beaker from the Muppets. Okay.
Thanks.
So Vinaya guides us through.
Oh, God, is Jim going to poop again?
Probably.
Is he
At
going to
least
do
his
it on
door is
camera?
closed.
I hope
Door-
so.
No, his door is closed. So Vinaya's going to guide us to
I wanted to see if he could hit the
Agnaratha.
toilet in real life. He played
she's-
it off like it was a joke, but I think it might just be.
I think it might be target practice
Demonstrative of his,
because he
like,
was
skill
peeking
level.
at us around the corner of his bathroom door while he was pooping.
Oh,
So I assume that it just projects out so hard that he's able to.
Let's move on from that.
I wish Jim listened to this show. He would have enjoyed that. All right.
Oh, what'd I miss?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing.
Vanessa, what's your opinion on combos? Do they taste like dog food?
I was trying to remember what a combo was. I thought it was like the conical thing that you can put on your fingernails and pretend to have long
No,
fingernails.
those
that kind of snack.
those are bugles.
Yeah. So I guess
I
a
bought those
combo is
recently,
like
and
a-
that's the first thing my kids did was stick them
Oh,
on their
yeah,
fingers.
That's what you do with them.
Bugles got discontinued in Canada. Everyone's real bummed about
Wow, bugles
Oh,
are
why?
great, man.
I may have I may have purchased generic.
them. No, botan. I
Bugles.
like that word.
I've bought. You know what? I've bought all these bugles before. All these bugles are pretty good.
Yeah, so a
Bun.
combo is like a pizza pocket kind of thing.
No, it's a pretzel. It's a pretzel cylinder with a hollow inside that they put flavored dog food into. And the dog food might taste like pizza. It might taste like ranch and wings.
I
or
believe
whatever.
that brand built its name on pizza flavored because that's all I really remember
I
from
know.
like
You know
when
what?
they
I'm-
came
I'm
out. Now I'm
giving
sure at this point they've got every goddamn dog food combination.
I'm giving combos a lot of shit, but you know what? Every time I go on a road trip, I'm grabbing a bag of combos. Last time Jalen and I went to 7-Eleven a couple weeks ago because she wanted a slushie, and I pointed at the combos and I was like, "Have you ever had those? They're really good." And she's like, "No," and I was like, "You know what's in them?" She's like, "No," and I was like, "Dog food." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, no, it's got a dog food texture.
Do you heat it up or do you eat them cold?
No, you put them in a handful at a time.
I don't think I've ever had these.
You know what? The pizza one's pretty good.
They're okay.
You just said it tastes like dog food.
They do kind of taste like dog food,
they
though.
look
I'm
like
not
they're
disagree
filled
with
with
them.
dog food. They have a dog food look and texture.
I want to be
Yep.
clear that you didn't say it looked like dog food. You claimed it was literally
it's
dog
not-
food
it's
and
not
made people shit
actually
themselves to
dog food.
death.
But
Yeah.
it
Which, to be
has-
fair, is something you claimed that happened to me like 3 weeks ago.
it has the texture and mouthfeel of dog food, but it is not dog food.
How do you know what the
don't.
mouthfeel of dog food is?
How do you not know?
You can look at anything and your tongue knows what it feels like.
That's not.
It
What?
is true. It's true. Okay, look at something in your room right now. Now think about
Should
what
I
it
look
would
at this
feel like to lick
gigantic
that.
Stella?
Yeah.
Look at the size of this beer. Hand for comparison.
So
That is a
look at
large
that beer
beer.
can. Don't
Paul,
lick it.
Paul
A
brought this
liter?
over and left it here.
Is
and
it
I
a
just
liter?
decided to drink it because we're almost done here.
So don't lick it, but think about what it would feel like to lick that can. And
Cold and metally.
yeah, so you know exactly what it would be like.
Vanessa, on the next episode, I want a Vanessa review of combos.
Where am I going to
Any
get
fla-
them?
Go to any gas station in the world.
Ew.
Vanessa,
they
can I
have-
tell you a
It's
blue
25
story?
fluid ounces, John. I don't know if that's a liter. What's a liter?
I don't know what a fluid ounce is. Vanessa, can I tell you a
Jim, you're a
blue
math guy.
story?
A
We'll have to go
poo-poo
at the end
story?
of the
Very well.
episode.
Yeah, you can tell me, but you know how I feel about that kind of thing.
A blue story
Great.
about
You
Blue's
love
Clues?
He wants
That
to tell me about
can
shitting
size.
his pants after eating a bunch
Blues
of
Clues,
combos.
Blues Clues.
No.
Blues
That
Clues,
can
Blues
size.
Clues.
The first wiener I ever saw was about the size of that can that Matthew's holding.
No!
Holy
No
shit.
way.
The first
So your
one.
expectations were set
Well,
way too
I
high
felt-
from
Wait,
the
you know what,
beginning.
John? I have a theory about that. I think the first, genitals that we all see or experience are probably 5 times bigger in our memories than in reality.
That's a
No,
good
that
point.
one was
Yeah.
enormous. It was like, oh, what? And it made me feel so bad about myself. Because look at that can. Look at the size of that can.
That's too big, Johnny. Like,
It
you don't need
was
to feel bad
ridiculous.
about not being that size because that is too big.
I mean,
but I
if
also
pornography
think
has taught me anything, it's that this is very small and that women love things that are much bigger than this.
that they do not, I guess I should say we do not, I can't speak for all women. There are size
Remember
queens
that episode?
out there.
Yeah, Samantha really likes it, except that she did find one that was too big. That was a good episode.
They can be too big, but women are different sizes as well, and that's not talked about very often. I think in the
That's true.
Kama Sutra, they say there's like 3 essentially different sizes, and that a woman who's a elephant should seek out a elephant and so forth.
That makes sense, though.
But Jim, I
makes sense.
actually I believe in your theory because twice
I
in
think
my
it's
life,
totally true.
yeah, twice in my life I've been talking to a woman about her first experience, and she has done this kind of hand gesture.
Yes.
And
The
everyone
first
around the
experience
table-
it's always been, it was gigantic.
Yeah,
And then the guy is like, I was so big.
yeah, yeah, and both of those times, on second visit, it's turned out not to be the case.
Yes, exactly.
No, I came back to that one a couple years later, and it was still there. It's still the number one.
It's too big.
It was too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you going to put that thing?
Like, you could see it when from behind when he was walking away.
Lord.
Yeah. Oh. Although I think that wasn't Michael Fassbender in Shame. He
Yeah.
wasn't girthy in that way, though. Although he was not turgid, so who knows?
I always compared it
Wait,
to
what
one
was
of those
that? What was
I'm
that word that you
confused.
used?
Turgid.
Turgid?
I don't like to think about turgid in my
is it turgid
penises.
or turgid?
Turgid.
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 Soft
I always
G.
read it as turgid.
Well, it's because you're thinking of hard, so hard G.
Is it
But
like
is a soft
GIF and
G.
GIF?
Yeah, if you're an idiot, you pronounce it GIF, and if you're smart, you pronounce it GIF.
Exactly. That's why it's Turgid.
Well, it sounds like this next cutscene has a lot going on. I should have just played for like another 20 minutes to see all this happening.
Yeah, so much shit happens.
Are you sure you don't want to cover it? Because I don't mind. It's
No,
fine.
it's too late. We're already in Choose Your Own Adventure, John.
Yeah, we've already
You
moved
can't
on.
roll back to the last segment.
Well, we can, because we forgot to talk about the 4 pylons that we have to turn on to get to the shrine.
Sorry about that.
Like nothing happens. There's
And
4 of
each
them.
one
and you
has a
turn them
boss
on
in
at the
it.
end.
And they're all
All right.
pretty much the same.